All right, hey guys, Greg here, Underground Graphics. Today we're going to do another quick install of PPF screen protection for the Stinger Heigh10. These already come with somewhat of a semi-glare layer on the screen of this, but we have had a few requests asking us to do our stealth PPF on this. Now the difference between doing this on the Stinger versus a Jeep or a Bronco is that these are not yet waterproof or water resistant. So we are going to want to tape around some edges on here. You know, we're not going to soak this thing, but it is, again, I don't want to be responsible if you damage your head unit. So let's go ahead and mask some area on here. And again, our PPF that we've been using is Expel Stealth. It's been fantastic for what we're wanting to do with this. And we're just going to go right to that edge. I don't even think we need to hit that corner, but there's really not. That PPF is gonna go right to the edge of that acrylic. And again, this is gonna be, I'm really more concerned with this bottom edge. Kind of going over those buttons. And again, I wanna leave that edge so I can still see the screen on this. And again, I don't need to do a whole lot. And again, the reason we're doing this is just as a safeguard. I'm not going to soak this like we do our other screens. And this also is different than what yours may be. But again, these are awesome units. But if you're like me and have that top always off, this does still show some glare, and I see lots of scratches on here already. So our PPF will help with that. And rumor has it that their next model is going to be water resistance. So again, this is just a little bit on that outside. It's a little bit of a safeguard. If you have any questions on this, please give us a call before you click that purchase. Be happy to talk to you about it. And again, this is an install at your own risk. That's why I'm doing this for you on camera so you can see how we do it. Really just alcohol prep on that screen. We have that alcohol water mix that we pre-mix for you. Something pretty simple. You're gonna want a clean microfiber. And again, I'm just gonna go kind of light with that just to make sure that we are clean. Yeah, I just wanna make sure there's no debris on there. But again, these stealth screens are fantastic for that sun glare, as well as a soft touch with your fingers. You don't get those fingerprints. I found that to be a big issue with the Stinger as well. I think we're good on that. All right. And again, this is gonna come with that plastic squeegee. This is just your standard small squeegee for PPF, or for our screen PPF. If we're doing something for the vehicle, we do encourage you to purchase the rubber squeegees. These slide a lot easier, obviously going onto the painted surface of your vehicle. But for this, we are just going to use that plastic squeegee. All right, so now that we've got our screen clean, we've got everything taped up. Again, make sure you're good with it, that we've got a barrier so when that water comes down, that's going to hit that tape and kind of slide off. I really don't want that to get underneath there or get into those buttons. You know, I've had this out in the rain and gotten stuck in the rain, and I've never had an issue with it, but I know they say this is not water resistant. So anyway, I've got that taped up. I feel very good with that. We're gonna go pretty light, not as much as we do on the other, on the Bronco or on the Jeep screens, but we're gonna go ahead and get this started. So there's our side there. I'm gonna go ahead and get a little bit of slide solution on that. And again, the faster I aim with this, the better that's not going to drip down there. Make sure your hands are extremely clean with this, because we're just going to take that from the corner, peel that up, get some more of that slide on the adhesive side. We're going to hit the front side a little bit. I want my fingers wet so I can grab that, get that on that screen. You're going to see about a 32nd of an inch. And just, you can kind of slide that into position so you feel good with that how it's going to lay out. I mean, again, it's got a little bit of wiggle room. Give another shot on the top of that, and then with that little squeegee, we're just going to start from the middle and overlapping strokes, push all that out. And come back on our other side and do the same thing. And again, this is self-healing film, so a little, you can be aggressive with this. We want to make sure we get all of that moisture out. I think we're good. I'm going to come back and I just want to dab that dry again. You can see where that water came down, and that's that part that I want you to be careful with. So we're going to take as much precaution as we can on that. And again, like I said, I've had this wet inside here and haven't had an issue. If you're asking why we're doing this on the Stinger, like I said, it does kind of already have a non-glare screen on it. We're doing this for fingerprints. We're doing this for a little bit of extra glare protection. Even out in the sun, this can still throw a lot of glare on it. And I waited a while for this, but we did have someone ask, and they go, "Hey, Greg, do you have a Stinger?" I do. You ever thought about doing a screen protector for that? Sure, no problem. We can get that taken care of for you. So I can still see a little spot in there where there's still a little bit of moisture in there. I'm gonna throw a little bit more on there and just kind of pop that out. Be a little more aggressive with it. There we go. That's all that takes. And this will evaporate if you've got a little bit left in there. That shouldn't be a big issue, but if you're like me, a little OCD, you want that to be perfect the first time. That's what we do. And that's really about it. Guys, that was not too bad. Like I said, that important part are these buttons. You don't want that to get in there. I think when they talk about that water resistance, they're really talking about that just getting absolutely soaked. Let's go ahead and turn this on, start this up, make sure we're good to go. Also, shout out to PBI Customs for this upper dash bar and tack form for these mounts. These are fantastic. Just got those put in and cannot wait to use those. All right, guys, so I got the Jeep moved back and I started playing with this a little bit, and my concern was if this was going to be any hazier than it was. I do know that with the Stinger screen, that screen is actually behind another screen, so it's got a little bit of inset to it. So putting that layer of PPF, a 1/16th of an inch, an eighth of an inch in front of that screen itself causes a little bit of haze. Now, it's not horrible. Again, I've been looking at this now for a few minutes, trying to decide if I want to keep this on here, take it off. It depends on what your level of OCD or clarity is. It's definitely not high def, but I can read everything I need to read. My front camera, everything still works as I need it. There's the rear. That front camera is not high def anyway. But again, what I'm using this Jeep for me, is basically off-roading, going out having fun, doing crawling, doing, whatever. So I just wanted a fair warning that. So if you get this and you're like, this isn't what I expected, be happy to talk to you about that in person. But again, this is something that I'm going to live with. I like having that soft touch of that feel on there. I can move that, it's nice. But I did notice it was slightly different than what it was before. So there's going to be a little bit of sacrifice with this. Again, this is an aftermarket unit. If this is something for your Jeep or your Bronco that has a factory screen, they're awesome. This, I'm going to say there is going to be a little bit of sacrifice on that. So again, just let you know ahead of time. Again, if you have any questions on that, give us a call. Yeah, all right.